Games.
Games.
More games.
There's more of them.
Yeah. It's game season.
Tis the season.
Game on.
Big game
baby.
hunters.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
I know you're playing.
Luigi's Mansion 3
Yeah.
came out on Halloween.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to launch your spooky game on the last day of the spooky season. And then
But that's like peak spooky
True.
awareness, you know?
Yeah.
for the 30 minutes I managed to play it on Halloween night before I fell asleep. It was peak spooky. Jane, you sounds like you're even deeper than I am, and I'm like 4 hours in or something.
Think maybe about 2-3 more hours deeper than where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that game.
Yeah. Me too.
I don't know. I don't want to get too much into sort of what the consensus is. Some people were like lavishing praise on it before it came out.
Yeah.
In a way that made me think like, oh my god, like they finally did it.
Yeah, they finally
Luigi got his due.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I don't think it's as mind-blowingly top shelf.
Sure.
I never really got into.
Well, so that's why I was like so struck.
Yeah, when
by,
people
like,
were like losing it over this
how
one,
well
it was
reviewing.
that feeling of just like, oh, did they actually like kind of nail this one finally?
Like, Luigi's Mansion always felt like the kind of also ran of Nintendo first party. I feel like the first game. I love the first game, and I feel like it's always just kind of been looked down on a little bit, or like
Really? I feel like
maybe
maybe it's like a cult
maybe
classic.
not looked down on, but people just weren't that passionate for it.
Sure.
Like in the way that like just about any Mario game is like revered.
Well, it was the only one like for forever until that 3DS one.
And then I didn't. Did you guys play the 3DS one?
I did not.
Kind of bounced
I've never
off of
played
it.
any of them.
Really?
Prior to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I freaking love the first game, and I played a decent amount of the 3DS one, and then kind of dropped it for reasons I don't really remember. I mean, this game's good. It is cool. It is very much that. Like it's got the same kind of shoebox diorama look to every room you go in, and like same. It's a Ghostbusters. Like you've got your vacuum and you suck up ghosts, but
they had proton packs in Ghostbusters, not vacuums. So I don't really get it.
Influenced by proton packs, then.
Same shit.
All right, if you say so.
I can't remember what all the mechanics were of the. I haven't played the first one in.
The first one was
15
just
years.
like very mechanics bare. It was like.
Was it like you could suck the vacuum in? Could you also blow it out in that one?
I don't think you could blow
Or
it
was
out.
it
It was
just-
basically like flashlight and vacuum in.
And that was it?
Yeah.
It was
Oh
pretty
wow.
much-
Okay. So I don't remember how much they added in the 3DS one, but this one you can
I
suck.
want to say the blow came in the 3DS.
That sounds right, and maybe the blacklight stuff did too.
I seem to remember people going like, "Oh shit, it's gone from suck to blow." Finally, Mansion.
Luigi blows now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys
Playing-
just ruined this game for me.
No,
What?
I'm way past that point. Like,
Do you want Gooigi to blow instead?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Gooigi blows so well though. Like Gooigi has
Like,
all the powers of Luigi.
I bet.
Playing-
Yeah,
playing-
when you look at, it seems like
playing that game with my girlfriend and like the shorthand around the vacuum of like her telling me what to do is just like that ship sailed already. It's just like suck that ghost, suck him, and it's just like okay,
Flash him.
I'm on it.
flash him, blow that. Like it's
Flash him and
just
suck
it's just
him.
impossible to
Flash
talk
him and suck him.
about. But yeah, so the vacuum has suction and it can also blow out. You've got the black light, which I can't remember if that's new or not, but that lets you
Materialize.
there's like hints of like spectral objects that are invisible in the environment. And you can use the black light to make them materialize so you can interact with them.
I do that when I check into hotels.
Yep. That's a good policy
Yeah.
to have.
I find a lot of ghosts.
This is in fact a hotel.
You flip over the mattress,
Oh, God.
you scan it,
Yeah.
look for any spectral emissions.
Oh yeah, I found a lot. I added some of my own and left.
To be in another room.
Yeah.
You've got Gooigi, which adds a fair amount of stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what is Gooigi?
What's
What does he
Luigi's
do?
deal?
Gooigi is just a Jello.
Who is Gooigi and what does he do?
Gooigi is just a Jello man that you can spawn at any time.
So he like shows up with a bunch of Jello shots?
No,
to
he is-
festivals?
He's
He
made
is
out of like
literal
coffee-
Jello. It's Jello
coffee
Man.
and ectoplasm.
He is-
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
Yes.
did they say that?
Yeah, apparently that's canon in the 3DS version.
Oh wow.
Because
That
EGAD
he's-
is all about like
Oh,
coffee.
the goo was in the 3DS game?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. According to a couple of friends that have conferred with me, it is canon that
Okay.
Gooigi's made out of coffee and ectoplasm.
Huh.
So I have a lot to relate to with Gooigi. then. Never have I felt more represented in a game.
Oh, the suction cups are the other thing I forgot about that you can do. You can
Is it-
shoot you can shoot suction
Oh, yeah.
cups onto a bunch of stuff, and they have like a little rope hanging off that you can grab and then pull to like pull a bunch of stuff. So Gooigi can do everything that Luigi can do, except in goo form.
Okay.
So you're shooting goo suction cups.
Okay.
So the idea is that
you would have a goo
but
vacuum
since he's
cleaner.
goo, he can get places that regular Luigi cannot.
Yes.
And it's a kind of a neat, like almost Metroid-ish thing. In fact, it's like better than that because
Better than Metroid.
Better than Metroid.
There you
on
go.
the box.
Back of the box. So Gooigi can go through grates and fences and like anything with like bars and grating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And before you get to him, or before you get him, you realize you've been seeing stuff like that all over the game, but it's not like it doesn't jump out in a hotspot way of like, oh, this
You
is
don't
good.
see like a big shiny glowy thing.
There's not
behind
some
it.
flashing.
Maybe I'll be able to get here someday.
There's not some flashing sign of like get the ability and then you can get in here. Like they blend into the background really well. And then when you get him, you're like, oh my god, I've been seeing places I could use him all over the game.
So is it sometimes stuff where you like, and you can switch back and forth between the two at any
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
So
You can spawn him.
stand on a platform to open a grate, and then
to
Luigi
their-
goes in and
to their
does this,
credit-
and like that. That's the game. Yeah,
Maybe they do later, but to their credit, I haven't seen a single instance of like put Luigi on the Switch and then switch back to Luigi and do
they've
something
not done
else.
that. Okay.
It's been a lot more creative stuff.
Got it.
You're quickly
Cool.
going
Great.
to have to jump back and forth in between Luigi and Gooigi super fast
Oh,
to get them going.
Oh boy, that might be where this is going to break down for me.
It reminds me of Cookies and Cream.
Yeah. Okay.
Of where like you have to open up the door for someone for Luigi or Gooigi very quickly, bust some ghosts to get both of them to safety.
Okay.
Also, Gooigi doesn't survive in water.
Yeah. So any standing or running water,
He's water soluble.
Yeah,
got
Sure.
it.
So you can't get them. That might be. We'll see how it goes. Where this game breaks down for me because like the controls are a little clunky.
Yeah,
Like, they're not the best.
The
and
aiming is a little bit
I
off.
saw Kotaku saying that there was an alternate control scheme. That
That's
was
not
way
a scheme.
better.
It's just that the face button, the functions
shoulder
are
buttons
functions are on both the face buttons and the shoulder
Okay.
buttons, and I already switched to that. The problem is the dual stick aiming.
Yeah.
Because by default, it doesn't work like a dual joystick game the way you think it should. It's tank controls. Like-
yeah, there's like pivot time in
Like,
there. And
well,
stuff.
it's not just that.
Oh,
It's
okay,
that
so
left and right
literal,
on the stick are relative to the way Luigi is facing. So, like, if you're facing toward the screen and you tell him and you hit left on the stick, he's going to turn right.
Oh, okay.
His like you're
That's
right.
weird.
And I haven't tried it, but apparently you can toggle that off. and I
Yeah,
think
okay.
I'm going to have to do that. But what that does is then you do get absolute dual joystick controls, but you can't aim up and down anymore because that's what the up and down on the stick are doing. Are giving you 360 horizontal.
God, it's like
So
GoldenEye all over again.
Then the aiming up and down is on the gyroscope in the controller. So I don't know that there's a great solution here.
Yeah, I tried it both ways of turning off the
I
gyroscope.
haven't tried that yet.
And I just couldn't then like aim up at all.
Right.
I was fucking up a bunch of boss encounters and stuff.
Yeah, and so I just got to the first boss that really has a bunch of tight timing windows last night.
Yeah.
And between the weird wonky aiming and like Luigi takes some time to get going, and that just was.
I've always said that about him. He's got to rev up.
I really didn't. That boss fight really turned me off because like it's just not
Sure.
it's not a tight action game, and yet they start throwing some stuff at you that demands that.
It makes me wish Luigi had a dodge roll.
Yes, if you just had a dodge, that fight would have been totally fun.
It fits in with his cowardice nature that
Yeah.
he'd be able to
Yeah.
roll away from something.
But like the Gooigi puzzles have been pretty creative so far. Like you can switch back and forth, and if you leave one of like, let's say you're using Gooigi, aiming the vacuum up and sucking the vacuum. If you switch while you're doing that, he'll stay in that position doing that thing. So there are puzzles that require you to like leave them in
like
certain,
lock them into certain actions.
To kind of set up little combo solutions. It's neat.
There's a moment I think in the next dungeon or floor you get into, Brad, where they almost borderline replicate the father-son Kamehameha. And it was really good.
Okay.
And then it's just
Do you
Gooigi
think
and
Luigi
Luigi
is Luigi's son?
Well,
not biologically, but like the bond they have.
Okay,
is-
well, then
well, it's kind of like how
biologically,
Majin Buu is like
Okay.
almost the son of everyone, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty good. Like they do environmental interactions extremely well.
Yeah. I also like that it doesn't really communicate anything with you.
Yeah.
And that you're just kind of like, it's total sandbox diorama of like, hey,
Kinda.
just poke around.
Yeah,
You'll
like-
eventually figure
Like
it out.
they did little scripting on just like about every object in the background in some way for you to like bust it up or interact with it, like activate a thing and find a secret door. Like it's fun to poke around in that environment.
Yeah.
and just
There
see
were
what happens.
times though where it's like, it would have me do a mechanic that I just wasn't familiar with, or like it would add an extra function to
Yeah.
a mechanic
Yeah.
that it wouldn't immediately communicate with you.
Yes.
That I guess the neat thing is you can go into your options menu. And if you're really, really stuck, you can contact Professor Egad
Yeah.
and be like, hey, like this is what you're fucking up on. Remember that this thing will also do that.
I turned off his hints and then promptly is in that shopping mezzanine where there's like a barbershop and, a cafe and stuff like that. Like there's a certain puzzle there, you may know what I'm talking about, where like I just happened to not blow the vacuum cleaner at the exact right position they wanted me to.
Oh, okay.
And then I spent like 20 minutes walking around going like, what the hell am I doing wrong? I cannot get through this. And then like I just had to I blew on the wrong object basically, and
I hear that.
It's a little wonky in places, but it also looks really good, like for a Switch game. It's got a really nice look to it. It's cool.
Yeah, I think I'm just probably at the point now where it's just like the downward slope of just, well, got to finish it.
Yeah. The other thing about it is that the whole conceit is that you're in a very tall, skinny hotel, and all the ghosts have stolen all the buttons out of the elevator. So basically, kind of every time you like beat the big bad ghost on a floor, it
get the button to the next floor.
Barfs up a button for another floor.
Yeah.
Do you go in order? Or is it
no, they're all over the place.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But the downside is that just leads to it feeling like you're doing a bunch of little short 15 to 30 minute levels instead of like I miss having like a. Have you played the first one recently?
Not recently.
Do you remember? I feel like my memory of that game is that it was like one big environment, like kind of Resident Evil style of you can sort of explore the whole space.
Right. It wasn't like a Metroidvania where you were unlocking ways to get in other doors, but it was just like literally doors would unlock eventually.
This is much more compartmentalized of like each floor is kind of self-contained and you'd sort of do the whole thing.
I think the portable nature of the Switch kind of lends itself well to that, like a shorter play session style. Just like you feel like you accomplished a thing and move on.
I get it. It is bite-sized in that way. I just kind of wish you had a little more freedom to kind of roam.
Yeah. The best thing in that game for me is that the pause menu or the communicator that you have with the professor is basically a virtual boy.
Yeah.
And like everything's red. They're totally poking fun at it. It's like, everything's going to be much better in red.
The dialogue is incredibly just sort of like self-aware about the massive failure of the virtual boy. Like they straight up poke fun at how it just was a complete sales disaster in the dialogue, which is surprisingly
enough time has passed.
Self-aware for Nintendo. That's been a thing in that series.
Yeah,
like you have a
poking fun at stuff.
Well, no, you have a Nintendo handheld.
Oh, okay.
Like you have a Game Boy Horror in the first game.
The Game Boy Horror,
and then what is it? I think you have a Nintendo Dual Scream in the second one.
That's good.
And now you have the Virtual Boo.
I feel like that's a different thing.
Maybe
that's what Hatsune Miku is.
It's just it's a boo, but it's with like cyberpunk. It's a cyberpunk boo on the grid.
Okay.
Wireframe boo.
Vector boo.
Yeah.
This game's it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a little because it was made by Next Level, the studio that did like Punch Out and like it feels mostly like a first party Nintendo game, but I feel like it's just a little bit of elements of like polish around the edges that are not quite as strong, but I think it's pretty good.
Cool.